Hi guys, welcome to another episode of The Big Time. Before I introduce my guest today, it's time for that welcome music.
My name is Claudine Ullman, actress, improviser, and all-round hustler, and you're listening to The Big Time podcast, my chance to speak to industry greats, movers, shakers, and game changers, people who are making waves and setting new standards. Who are they? What inspires them? And what do they have to do to hit the big time? You hit the big time, baby. Joining
me today, not in the studio, but from his very own house, is the incredibly talented from his bedroom, even better, the incredibly talented Sifiso Nene. Ladies and gentlemen, go crazy. Woo-hoo! I need actual sound effects for you. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. I am so good, and I'm so good that I am seeing you. How have you been coping this lockdown? Are you coping?
I'm coping. What can I do? We don't really have a choice but to cope. I guess we don't have so many options as artists, so we just need to hang in there and cope.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are looking great, and I'm so excited to have you on The Big Time, because The Big Time is really, it's all about you. It's your journey, your successes. So I am ready to get inspired, because I know that your story is incredibly inspirational. So I want to start from the beginning, and I want to talk about how you first got into comedy. Like, have you always known you were hilarious, or how did you discover that?
I was actually watching, there used to be a sitcom called Pure Munati Show. That was done by, Riyad Musa, David Gao, Joey Rastin, the comedy legend. So I was watching that series, that sitcom, and something in me was like, yo, bruh, you think like these guys. Because sometimes, when you are watching a scene on TV and you can just see how it's going to end, from the beginning. So that's how I realized that, okay, maybe there's something common between me and these guys. And then I started writing scripts for TV purposes, right? And because my inspiration was from a TV show, and came to Joburg, and then luckily I met one of the comedians, Ronnie Motimola, who was part of that cast on the Pure Munati show, and then I showed him my scripts, and then he advised me that my scripts were funny in a stand-up comedy way, not in a screenplay or TV in a TV way. And then I changed my scripts into stand-up, and then tried it out, and then it worked, and then that's how I got into the industry. That's how I started.
I mean, how incredible is that? Because for people who are watching, and for people who are comedy fans, a lot of people aren't brave enough to go, I can do that, and make sure that they get hold of the people who are in the show. The fact that you got hold of Ronnie is incredible.
It was by chance, Claudia. It was by chance.
How?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, so I took a bus from Durban to Joburg. The aim was to come to Auckland Park, because in my mind, TV was made at SABC Auckland Park, right? So I had these small pieces of papers with the scripts that I had written, and I was like, if I can meet someone, just hoping to meet anyone. And then when I got to the SABC, they were shooting a TV show, and they needed audience members, people that would come and clap. You know how it goes, the audience members. And I was there with other people, and then we went in, and luckily on the show Ronnie was being interviewed, right? And then I saw him. I was like, okay, when this guy is done, I'm going to this guy. I'm just gonna make sure that I speak to him. I tell him everything. So after his interview, he went to the toilet to wipe off the makeup. And I went to him and I was like, yo, brah, my name is Sifiso Nene, blah, blah, blah. Got the scripts and whatnot. And then he was like, yo, calm down. Here's my number. Let's meet next week. I went back home to KZN, to Durban, and then came back the following week. And then we sat down at his place. And then he checked out my scripts. So that's when we had, the conversation. And that's when he got to know me. I got to know him. That's when he gave me the advice. But that did not just happen because, I knew people. I didn't know Ronnie. It happened by chance because I decided to take the bus from KZN and risk not knowing anyone in Joburg, coming to the SAPC, and I was lucky that they were looking for the audience members, and I was there, and the person I was looking for was there. I guess I just needed to go.
I mean, this is mind-blowing to me. This is mind-blowing to me because to me, this is not luck at all. This is total hustle. This is total hustle. This is going, I am not going to stop. I mean, a bus from Durban is 8 hours, 5 hours, however long it is. To be willing to do that is just next. It's so huge. It's so huge. That's so incredible. I've actually got cold shivers. It's very inspiring. Wow. And so tell me, so you're coming up to Joburg now. You in contact with Ronnie. There's no comedy clubs in Durban. So you're living in Durban, but you're coming up to perform in Joburg. Is that right?
Okay, so another thing that Ronnie said was that they were coming to Durban to do a stand-up comedy show. And with the crew, the entire crew from the PMS show, the Pure Munati show, because they were like the biggest comedy superstars in the country at the time. They still are, but that time it was like the climax of their career or the launch of their careers. So they came to do the show, and Ronnie was like, come through. I bought a ticket to the Bed Center. I went to the Bed Center and I checked them out. I was like, oh, okay. This thing looks interesting. At that time, I was interested a lot into poetry. At the Bed Center, there were poetry sessions. And it's a theater play. It's an art center, Bed Center is an art center, and then there's a theater where performances are held. So I was going there often for poetry sessions, because I've always been a creative in my mind. And then Ronnie then told me about this stand-up comedy show, bought a ticket, and then went to watch them. When I was watching them, I was like, this thing is exactly like poetry. The difference is that the response this side is laughter. The other one is you think about, it makes you think. The other one makes you laugh. And then, so it was easy for me to then turn my material from poetry, because I had the experience of being on stage, the stage presence and everything. So to turn my script from the TV screenplay to actually stand-up comedy. So that's how I started after Ronnie had left with the guys after watching their show.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is I am the biggest fan of you. Also, for those of you who are living under a rock and don't know Sifiso, I want you to know that I've performed at several of your gigs.
Yeah.
I've never seen one seat empty. There are 500 people, 600 people. When we perform, it was like Chili's. Is it called Chili's in Midrand?
Yeah, Chili's. Yeah. That's more venue.
I mean, I've never. So it looks like somebody's house, and it's really like cozy and intimate and small. There must have been 700 people there. Like you can't walk, and the vibe and that is what has now become like your empire.
Yeah,
And
that's how I started.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like, it's starting from such humble beginnings, but there was always this determination, which is so inspiring. It's so bloody cool. It really is. So, and then you did, if I'm not mistaken, so you're coming up to Joburg to perform, correct?
Yeah,
after that.
After that, then I would come to Joburg. Actually, not to perform, because nobody knew me at the time. So like any other comedian, I'd come up and ask for open spots. Sometimes I'd get the spots, sometimes I wouldn't. So whenever guys, because comedy has always been huge in Cape Town. So I would also go to Cape Town just to watch, because I developed, some kind of passion for this thing. And then, so until I understood that I needed to ask the comedians for the opportunity to share my stories. Some would give me some wouldn't. You know how it goes. And then, then I became a regular more in Joburg, coming to perform here, and then going back to Durban, back and forth. I would do that. I think every week I'd come to Joburg, and sometimes perform, sometimes not.
And would you like sleep over in Joburg, or you'd be like performing and then go home?
No, I'd come here. I'd take a bus from Durban at 8:00. Okay, 6:30. Sorry, 6:30 bus gets here at 3:30. Right, and then I would hang around Joburg, get something to eat, do something around town, in the CBD. I know it's scary, but for me it was.
Yeah, you still did it.
So, so I'd hang around Joburg, and then around 6, 7, then go to the gig where I had the open spot, then perform, and then take another bus back at 10:00 to Durban. It arrives at 6:30 in the morning in Durban.
I mean, this is the sort of determination we all need to have, but this is the sort of determination you need to become Sifiso Nene. And you can only become that level, that status of comedy. I mean, it's mind-blowing to me. Were you born with this sort of determination, or is it something like, this is what I'm passionate about, I found my thing, I'm going to do whatever it takes?
I think beyond being born for comedy, there's a habit of wanting to achieve greatness behind that. My persona, I've always been that person, who has a habit of, when I start something, I want to finish it. Doesn't matter what it is that I'm doing it, or what I'm doing, doesn't matter really. So the comedy thing was just another thing to showcase the success of the habit, I guess. Because there are many other things that I did back then before becoming a comedian. But I've always been that person who makes it a habit to see something through that I started. So I think behind the comedian, there's that personality, which I think for me is what drives me.
I mean, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And I mean, I am so inspired by you and your story and what you have accomplished, because then also you went on to do, there was a comedy competition at the time.
Yeah. Now this is 2 years later.
Okay, so we've already been doing it for 2 years, which still isn't a lot. It's not a lot. You're still a baby.
No. I'm still a baby. There's not so many club gigs in Johannesburg. There's Horror Cafe. There's Parkers. Parkers was not even here at Monte Casino. It was in what's this place? The Miropa Casino or Morula Casino. Actually, Miropa is new. Morula Casino. That's far in Pretoria. So I'd go there to do such club gigs, different club gigs all over Joburg. back to Joburg. So for 2 years, I did that back and forth. Durban, Joburg, Durban, Joburg, Durban, Joburg, or wherever there were shows, just to watch sometimes to perform. And then a competition from SABC One came through called So You Think You Funny, and I entered that competition. So because I think I had so much experience from being on stage and different audiences, that helped me to actually win the competition, because I think I was the most experienced comedian than everybody else there, because no one had been doing what I was doing. Because of the club gigs and the experience that I had accumulated over these 2 years, it was enough to see me through or to help me win the competition. And then I won the show.
And also, you didn't just win the show, you are competing against really good comedians. I mean, all the big comedians now.
Yeah.
Wasn't Celeste in it? Tats was in it.
I was with Tats. We shared the same hotel with Tats Gonzo. Tats would tell you everything, because I was with Tats from the beginning of the competition in the same hotel room. For, I don't know, I think we were there for 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, in Braamfontein. And then we talk. Tats knows everything. I was with him at the hotel. I remember we're at the top, I think top 15, from top 800 or something, from 800 people or something. And then they cut us down.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's amazing.
When we were at the top 15, people were exhausted and they didn't have material, stand-up comedy content. And I had about 150 jokes at the time.
Yeah, now you can't even count
them,
but that's I mean, it's incredible.
That's incredible. When Ted was like, I give up.
You take it.
Like, I don't have material.
I mean, that is so.
Ted was like, I give up. And I was like, I was in my comfort zone by that time.
I mean, it's just mind-blowing to me. It's so incredible. And did that like really change the trajectory of your career? Like, was it like, woohoo, made it?
Well, for me,
not that big.
For me, the important thing was to launch my career as a professional comedian, because you know how hard it is to be an underground comedian in this country. It takes some doing for you to actually be at a point where you can put up a show and have a sold-out show. You can put out any kind of show, even if it's 100 people or 200 people or 50 people. You need to really work in order to get to that level. So that platform for me, because it was on national television, everyone knew me. And for me, that is what, more than winning the money, that is what I wanted for my career to be launched in front of everyone, so that I don't have to introduce myself, because I had been introducing myself for 2 years to the same people. You know, some people, because there are many hopeful comedians who ask for open spots. So organizers don't know all of us. So you need to reintroduce yourself over and over. So that opportunity of the show, it changed my life. And I think it launched my career in a way that I never really imagined.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, would you say that is a moment in your life that you said, this is it, I've hit the big time?
Yeah, definitely. That was the moment. There hasn't been anything like that in my life to this day that I can say something that big, because it was a competition. It's like winning idols. It doesn't matter how many awards you can win after that. I think the thing about winning a reality show or a competition is that people can see you progressing from, when you come into the show, growing with the show until you win a show. It develops some kind of respect towards your art. it's unlike just winning an award, because we know you can sing. So people respect you because of the entire package, what they know about you, where you come from, and how you made it. So there hasn't been anything of that nature in my comedy career until this day.
It's incredible. I mean, it's just such a, as you say, it's such a great way to say, to get people to really know you, because that's what we do on stage. We make jokes about our lives and who we are. And you're right, we constantly in front of a new audience saying, let me start again. I'm Claudine, and this is what I do. And this is like the most fantastic platform to have hundreds and thousands of humans going, not only do I know who Sifiso is, like, have I met him, but I now know his journey. Like,
exactly.
I've seen him progress. Like, incredible. It's just so incredible. It's so inspiring. So you win this competition. This is it. This is the big time. But since then, you've had huge moments in your career since.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
as I say, whenever Sifiso puts on a show, I've never seen you perform to 20 people. It's always 700 humans in a room. You know, it's always a big deal. You've done Blacks Only with David Cowell. You've done movies with him, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done it all.
Yeah, I've done a lot of things. I've shot some adverts. I've created some adverts. Yeah, I've done a lot of things. One of the contracts, because David was the main judge at the competition, David Cow. So the contract was you win 100,000 and a contract to work with David for a year. So I've been working with David since 2009 when I won the show.
Wow.
Until today. So I've done, I don't know how many Blacks Only shows I've done. And other shows, Kings and Queens of Comedy. Some of my shows, the Combo Comedy Show, that's my new brainchild, which is doing amazingly. From that venue, the Chili's, the venue we're talking about, to Carnival City, to Gold Reef City. It's just been amazing. It's been amazing, I won't lie. There's been so many significant things, huge things that I could point out and say, I've done this, I've won awards. There's been so many things. It's been amazing, I won't lie.
Yeah. And I mean, for those people watching who aren't necessarily comedy fans, we're talking about performing to 5,000 people a night. You know, this is like big deal stuff. What has been your greatest lesson doing comedy?
For me, the greatest lesson is that, okay, because comedy means different things to different comedians, right? For me, comedy is like the reason why I'm alive. Yeah, that's my purpose. The comedy is the reason why I'm alive. That's why I was born. This is the thing I was born for. And the lesson behind that, and what I'm grateful for, is that I discovered that, or I realized that, or I comprehended the entire thing about comedy being my life at a young age. Because most people normally discover the things that they are passionate about at a later stage in life, when really they cannot make a living out of it, when they're just going to do it for a short while and then they die. So for me, comedy has been my life savior. It's been the thing that I live for. I live, I eat, I drink comedy. That's the reason why I'm alive. That's the greatest realization I've ever realized in my life, if there's such a way of putting, if that's Yeah.
Totally.
If I'm making sense.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's so inspiring. I mean, I want you to know as well that probably my favorite all-time ever joke, I mean, that's how big it is. That's how huge it is for me, is somebody. Literally my greatest ever joke. And that's not only my greatest ever Sifiso joke. It may be my greatest joke of all time. Every time I see you perform it, and whenever I do a show or put on a show, Sifiso is always on my lineup. I make sure he's always headlining, or if he can't headline, he's on the lineup, because just your comedy and your writing, and it comes from somebody who is so dedicated and so passionate and lives and breathes and eats comedy. And that's why it's just so funny and so entertaining.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's so great. It's so inspiring. So can we talk about Sophisticated now?
Oh, okay. See, okay,
I want to hear about it. Tell me more.
I have this concept called Sophisticated. It's a mini comedy series where I'm trying to marry my background and my comedy career. Because I'm a guy who comes from the rurals of KZN. So in most cases, because the story of the rural people has not been told. People, whenever we come to the big cities, like here in Joburg or Cape Town or wherever, people, they look at the rural people as if they don't know some of the things, or there are people that don't know anything about anything, right? And for me, I think behind the comedian, my strength, I draw it from the values that I got from my upbringing. And so in a documentary, I'm marrying the two, where I come from. So I take you where I come from, how I used to be a head boy, how I used to, go swimming, go fishing with the other boys, picking fruits, wild fruits, or hunting. I'm marrying that with the comedy, how I started comedy. So I'm telling two stories at the same time, where I studied and whatever. So that's the concept that I came up with, because I think it gives my brand, my comedy brand, identity, and some sort of, I don't know. I think identity is the right way, or right way that I can describe it. I believe it gives my comedy career some sort of identity, and it makes it look different. It's something that I've always strived for, that my journey or my brand should not be associated or look like any other person's brand. It must be a Sifiso Nene brand. So so the Sophisticated brand, or the series, came about. That's how it came about. That I wanted to marry the two stories, my upbringing and my comedy history, where I come from. So it's very nice. It's very, very nice and very informative.
Amazing. And where do we get hold of it? Is it currently are you shooting it, or is it flighting?
It's streaming. Actually, I was streaming it for 3 days, and then because of the response, I just started again to put it up online today. It's gonna go live on the 25th of June until the 1st of July. So you can just buy
after that it's done. So you better get tickets.
After that it's done. I don't know if I can put a comment, so I can put on my link.
Yeah, totally. Please do.
Okay. I know where.
Put a link. Can you see where the comments are on the side?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. If you put a link, or even if in the private chat to me.
There I just put it on the private chat. Yeah.
Okay, good. So this is good, people. Okay, I'm putting it in the comments right now. So this post is coming from me.
Okay.
Yes, there we go. Let's show it on both platforms.
Yeah.
Okay,
so you just go onto that link. So you go onto that link and then you buy a ticket, costs $95, and then you get a link that will allow you to watch the series. It's that easy.
That's so cool. And like in terms of I mean, it's so cool that you're also doing a documentary and that it's, you've done your one-man shows, you've got your one-man shows out there. This just sounds like it's something so different, which is so cool.
Yeah.
How have you found adapting to online? And have you done comedy online?
I've been approached a few times to do comedy online. For me, I'm really struggling to do or with the idea of doing comedy online because I'm a live performer. I believe in seeing the people that I'm performing for and feeling the energy. I believe in that. So the online thing for me is a bit of a challenge because I work with, my comedy is here on the face and the physicality. Now I can't do it sitting here or in the comfort of my home and somebody watching me from the other end. So for me, stand-up comedy will not work doing it like this. Hence, I came up with this concept that maybe this can, in the meantime, people can be watching this and can be enjoying this until the lockdown is lifted. But for me, it's not gonna work, honestly, unless I put up a one-man show special, like putting up a documentary or a series, then it's a different case altogether because it's been recorded. So that's fine. But a live performance, I've been turning down a few of those gigs. Yeah.
I mean, it's so interesting also because this is like my gazillionth episode of The Big Time, and I've spoken to mostly comedians, and it's just amazing to see how people have either chosen to adapt to this online medium or they've chosen to go, you know what? I'm going to give stand-up comedy a break for a year or however long this thing is going to be going for. And it's just so interesting because I mean, I've seen when online comedy and when people have done their online shows and there's been no internet connection or something's gone wrong, how bad that can be for your brand. And it's already hard enough for us because we're going, I hope you guys are laughing.
You understand.
I
hope you get it.
Yes, I hope you get it. So I totally get where you're coming from. I totally get it.
Yeah.
And in terms of what is next for you, what is your big time? What's your big time that's still to come?
My big time is Carnival City one-man show. Or Times Square Arena one-man show.
How many seats is that?
That's like 5,000, Carnival City. And Times Square is about 12,000, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Oh my God! I mean, that's insane. That's insane. Yeah. Wow.
I know. And then maybe after that, then I'll do the international stage. I want to do New York. I want to do LA.
Yeah.
I want to do.
You've got it. Have you done anywhere else in Africa?
Yeah, I've done Swaziland. I've done Botswana. I had other gigs before lockdown. I had a gig in Ireland. I was gonna do a one-man in Ireland in March, end of March, but then lockdown happened. This year the plan was to get out of the country more. And
COVID said, "Sorry, Sifiso."
Yeah,
none of your dreams are coming true. None of your dreams are coming true. I mean, that's incredible. I think you have to go overseas. You've got to perform overseas. They would love you. They would love you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that's got to be your post the moment lockdowns lifted. We're like, where's Sifiso? He's out of here. He's gone. You got
he's out of here. Yeah, I'll be gone. Trust me, I'll be gone.
Yeah.
I'll be gone. Yeah.
I mean, that is just so exciting and so awesome. And I want to know if you're a mentor or an inspiration to me and to so many younger comedians who are starting out, seeing your determination and your passion and who is your mentor?
Okay. I have mentors that don't know that they are my mentors.
Yeah, you didn't know you were mine. You didn't know you were mine.
I didn't, yeah.
But now you do. Now you do.
Now I know. Thank you for that. So I have people, because I speak to a lot of people in different spaces of life. There are people that inspire me in business, right? And there are people that inspire me in comedy, because there's comedy and there's business. And those are two different things. And there are people that just inspire me generally to create content. So I don't know if you will know the names. There's one guy, the guy who created the concept of So You Think You're Funny. That's the guy who inspires me. His name is Bonke
What's his name?
Shibata.
I think I met him with David Cow. Is he friendly with David?
Yes. That's the guy.
I opened for David once and he was watching him. So I do think it's him. Yes.
Yeah, it's him. It's definitely him. So that guy, his work ethic, his business ethic, he's amazing. He's amazing. That's the guy that I look up to business-wise. And then in comedy, I look up to everyone because everyone has something different to offer, right? You have your different style, how you present your content on stage, your stage presence, your movement, how you hold your mic, those little things. I take something from each and every person, and I learn from each and every person. So I don't have a specific comedian that I'll say this is a specific comedian that I look up to, like I was saying about this guy. But in comedy, it's everyone, because everyone has something different to offer. It's so amazing if you just listen and watch comedians perform. Each comedian, they can talk about the same thing, but because of their upbringing, they will speak about it in a different way. And then that for me is amazing. Then I learn from each and every person's experience, and then I get inspired by it. So,
well, do you know why I know that's true? I know that's true because I will arrive at comedy on a Monday night and the lineup is full. There's 11, 12 people on, and mostly newbies or new comedians. And Sifiso is sitting at the back watching. And I arrive at Kitchener's and the lineup is full and we all performing and you're there watching.
Yeah.
You know, and for people who aren't in the industry, this is the sort of determination it takes to be able to do your one-man show to 12,000 people. You know?
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And you just have what I really respect about you is you have no ego. You have no ego. You're not looking at someone going, well, and you know, what I appreciate as well in terms of my journey is not only that you have no ego, you have always been so willing to give me a chance. Always. Yeah. Whenever I've phoned you and I've gone, is there space on the lineup? Can I jump on? You've never said no to me. You've never said no to me, which is so I want to thank you for that, for always believing in me and giving me an opportunity and just really not having any ego about doing comedy. Like, as you say, you're at the back there and you're learning from the newbies even.
Yeah.
Like,
because
we never know enough. We never know enough, you know?
We never. We never. I think it's that thing again that I was saying, that it's a habit behind the comedian, that there's that habit to learn, habit to, I want to be better at my performance. Not that I'm stealing anyone's style or anything, but it's inspiration. For us, it's inspiration because we're in the same industry. So we learn from one another. So I'd be foolish to think I've got this figured out. I think that would be the day I won't succeed in what I do. Yeah.
Sifiso, you are power. You are so power. Thank you for being such an inspiration, for spending time with me. It's so nice to see that you are doing so well in lockdown, and post-lockdown, you're going to be out of here. But it's so bloody cool to see you, and I'm so happy you're doing so well. And we are going to watch Sophisticated. Here, I'm putting up the links again, so please take it down. It's at Quicket. So if you want to look, if you want to search Sophisticated on Quicket, spelled this way, don't spell it another way because you'll get a totally different something. But you have just been an absolute delight. Thank you for inspiring me and inspiring so many other newbie comedians.
Thank you for having me.
You're just such a legend. And I'm gonna be speaking to you and just seeing how you are, and speaking to you post. You're gonna message me from New York.
Yes, I will.
And say I've sold out Madison Square Gardens, and then I'm coming to open for you. I'm coming to open.
You will need to save this interview and be like, I have an interview when this guy was planning.
Yes, and then I've got to say, no, then I've got to say, you see there on the interview, he said I could open for him, you see?
Yeah.
And nobody can say it didn't happen. You are so amazing, Sifiso. Thank you, my darling. Have a beautiful weekend, and just keep well and keep living the dream and keep inspiring us all.
Cool. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on, my darling.
Bye-bye.
Guys, that was Sifiso Nene. He is just such a legend. He's so great. As I say, there's absolutely no ego with him. What an honor. What an honor to get to speak to him. So until Monday and our next episode of The Big Time, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sending your suggestions of who you would like me to interview. Keep those coming. Also, if you are enjoying the content I am putting out, here is a Busker. No, it's so hard to do with a mirror. There is a Busker code. You can scan this code and donate, because myself, just like a whole lot of other comedians, have been unemployed this lockdown. So we would appreciate a donation of anything. You guys have been awesome. Until Monday, see you next time on The Big Time. Bye.